Recently, Joe, I gave Louis a shot at the club, after his
Yeah, I heard about that.
And, Louis called me up and said, hey, do you mind if I do a spot? And I thought about it. I said, yeah, sure, no problem. I like Louis. He wasn't arrested or convicted of anything. And so I put him in. He did fantastic.
He calls me. He said, what do you think? I said, yeah, put him on.
After that evening, the backlash was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I go, how long is enough? What does this guy have to do to try to get his career back?
Right, but what is the backlash, though? Because the backlash is not the actual customers, right?
No, it was they grabbed some female comics
who aren't working
for me, and that's said that Mike locked the doors and put a sexual predator on stage, and I was like, everyone there enjoyed Louis, and I'm just trying to help a friend get his life back.
He came in and he walked over to me. I give him a big hug. He goes, we got no problem? I go, no, you nitwit. I said, I would have called you if that prick Wright had given me a number. He didn't give me a number. He goes, that's not right. I go, I know, that's what I told him. I said, so I bring him on stage. Said, ladies and gentlemen, this Me Too thing and everything. Here's a guy who didn't touch any women. Matter of fact, he touched himself. That was the problem. They just happened to be in the room. And I said, you could have jerked off in front of me as long as you didn't get on my shirt. My shirts are pretty expensive. I said, but these are people you gave a job to. The people that turned on him, he gave jobs to. And that's not right.
Well, there's a lot to that story.
I don't know.
There's a lot to that story that would make him look very different than a lot of these people that are accusing him. And one day I think he's going to tell that story. I had a conversation with him about it. It's not as cut and dry as everybody thinks. Right. Everybody thinks he had power over these women and he pulled his dick out and started. No, there was a lot of sex talk. There was a lot of flirting. There was a lot going on. It wasn't that simple. And he's
he's very contrite about it.
Yes, very, very. And he knows he fucked up. And by the way, he hadn't done anything like that in more than a decade. Right. It was a long time. He's got a kinky thing. He likes jerking off in front of people.
Listen, I can't even jerk off if the neighbors are home. I'm a wreck. I make weird faces and everything. So it wouldn't be fun for anyone. But
he's not a bad guy.
No, he's a good guy.
He's not a rapist. He's not a sexual predator.
He didn't touch anybody.
He caught the worst part of the wave.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're in the ocean and you could be in the ocean on a fucking surfboard and you just catch this little tiny wave and everything's fine. Or you could fuck up and be in the right spot when that giant wave comes and slams you in the head and you have the same intention in the same person. And in other times in history, he would have been fine. He would probably be fine today. Because everything is there's enough of the females that have come out that have been full of shit, like Asia Argento and the girl who accused Chris Hardwick, and then Chris Hardwick released all these text messages that show that she actually cheated on him and she wanted him back, and she's just trying to punish him for all this. But there's a few of those situations now where people realize, well, there's definitely sexual predators and there's definitely bad men, but there's also women who are taking advantage of this movement.
Right.
And I think the world is sort of like calmed down a little. Like the Asia Argento one was a big one. When it turned out that she was calling Harvey Weinstein a rapist while she was fucking a 17-year-old.
Right.
She played his mom in a movie 10 years ago when he was 7. It's like, Jesus Christ, like how could you have that kind of hypocrisy? But there's a lot of that in people that are screaming for attention at the front of the line of a lot of these things. A lot of them have like dark secrets themselves.
Yeah.
And these people that don't want a guy like Louis to have a road to redemption, they don't want him to work. Or even a guy like Aziz Ansari, which is even worse. He had a bad date with a girl. Right. Like a bad date where she blew him like 3 different times and didn't want to keep going.
Well, wait. You said bad date. That sounds pretty good to me.
It's pretty good. No, it's better than no blowing.
Right.
Yeah, but the whole thing was so crazy. It's like there's more than one side to every story like that. And to take someone's opinion or someone's perception of something as 100% the actual event that happened without any other evidence, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't think I just think people have to recognize that Louis in particular. He's been out of work. He was out of work for 10 months. Yep. He lost all of his shows. People think he didn't suffer from that.
Oh, he lost $30 million, Joe.
People that think he didn't suffer are crazy. Yeah. You're crazy. If you think he should never be allowed to work again, well, he's not a criminal. Okay? Right. He's not in jail. Right. So what are you saying? Like he shouldn't be able to do stand-up?
Everyone deserves a second
chance. And that was my point I said, sure, Louis, come in. You know what?
Yeah.
I wanted to give him a fighting chance, and I guess he is back doing clubs now. And
he's doing a lot of clubs.
And he was very...
But that's it. It's all he's trying to do. He's
just trying to get his life back.
Yes.
You know?
He's building his act again, doing clubs, and some fucking asshole releases his whole act on YouTube. So now all that material he has to chuck away.
Right.
So he was writing during the time he was gone, but not performing.
Right.
And then he puts together, an act that, look, you know as well as anybody, when you have new shit, it's got some goddamn holes in it. Right. There's no way it comes up. I've never written a bit ever, maybe one or two in my whole career that was the finished bit when I first did it on stage. Maybe one or two ever. They're always clunky, and sometimes you have ideas. You're like, why the fuck did I even try that one? Like the Parkland shooter bit, like when he was doing that bit, which is it's a very unfortunate bit, especially when people who aren't in the club hear it, and then. But who knows what that bit would have been
if someone didn't tape it.
Yeah, if you gave him a year to work it out, he probably would have figured out a way to make it where it wasn't offensive and it didn't shit on those kids in the same way.
My best stuff was years ago, before cell phones and because I didn't know. I just went out there, and now when I'm on stage, I'm constantly thinking, oh, don't go there, don't do that, don't cross that line, because
But that's a terrible feeling for a comic.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Half the funny shit that you and I have laughed at hard was something that someone definitely shouldn't have said.
Oh, absolutely.
But they knew they shouldn't have said it. That's why they were saying it. They were saying it to make the audience laugh, because they were like, I can't believe he fucking said that. Not like he means it, like that's his actual thoughts.
There's no maliciousness behind it. I have no. You think I want people to spend $30-$40 to go out and have me piss them off and ruin your night with your wife or your date? No, you idiot. I'm just trying to make you laugh.
Exactly.